Hello. Today I finally got my Hoover X selfie drone. After seeing a bunch of videos and reviews on the device, I thought it'd be good to have this, as I have a lot of family. This gives everybody a way to get involved in the pictures. I don't need to be holding the camera and missing out. So I ordered this before production when it was on a Indigo fundraising website. And I had to wait for my number to come up. I was about 2,500, and so I had to wait till that number came up, and they sent it, and it got here today. So let's rip this box open. I can also insert in the description, along with the link to the website and instructions on how you can order one if you think this is going to work for you. So it came over by FedEx, and here it is. Came by FedEx. I am now finishing the opening. The bag looks good. I don't see any damage on the outside. Let's see what the box looks like on the inside. So you can see 00 Robotics, Hoover camera. The other side of the box, a little smooshed over here. I'd say it's probably pretty good. So let's finish opening this puppy up here. Oh, I guess I'm going to need some kind of a letter opener thing. There we go. And we have. They give you the option of several order chances or choices. And this one I ordered with the camera and the extra battery and the double charger. So that is what I got. Camera, battery charging hub, and extra battery. And cute little foam pad. All right. So let's see what we got inside some of these here boxes. This would be the battery. Let's see what we got inside here. Come on. There we go. It looks like a battery. Got the hooks for hooking. I guess you just snap it on in there. Put that back in there. Charging hub, I'm sure we all can kind of relate to a charging hub. This one was pretty tight in the box, but there you go. Just note, it doesn't come with a power supply. So you do not get a power supply. So that means you're going to have to use a USB-C connector to whatever you have for a charger. Your laptop, your computer, if you got a charger from maybe your cell phone that has a USB-C on it, I'm sure that will be fine. Along with the charging hub comes a warranty card. So definitely want to read it. And now we go for the big drone here. Let's put things to the side. Let's see what we get out of this guy here. All right, just start ripping the plastic off. Very excited, very excited. And this is a pretty decent box, not bad. And let's see, yeah. Ooh, this feels pretty hefty. If it works, and it works better if you, put it right side up. Nice box. More things inside. This looks like the documentation envelope. This is pretty nicely done. Quick start guide. And the before your first flight scenario. I have a pretty good feeling that that means charge all of your batteries first and get a few flights in before you can go manual. This does have an option for the manual flight, but it has 6 preset flight configurations for you. Here we are. This is how small it is. Sits in a pocket, pretty small. It's got magnets to hold it. Let's take out the decusant there. And there we are. It seems to have outward facing propellers, if you'll notice, as we fly through the Grand Canyon here. They're just a little bit up, which I would assume would help for stability, so I'm good with that. I'll close it back up. Let's see here. We have this guy. How does this come off? Well, I guess I should probably read the instructions before I go snapping stuff apart. Or looking at this, okay, so this appears as we got to pull the Hoover part off. No, oh, there it goes. Give it a little bit more oomph, and you can grab it. All right. There's your information. I'm sure that barcode is going to be needed to plug into your phone. There is an app. I will go to that next. And that's for uploading and downloading your pictures. And let's see, we have one more little box of goodies here. We got a nice foam, a nice cloth bag to protect it. And you have a USB-C cable, which you can use for your chargers. And you can also charge right here. Here's your C plug. Plug that in, and you can charge while the battery is in there. And then you want to be careful with this. Camera, gimbal. It's really a two-way gimbal, or I don't know, I'd say one-way gimbal. It gives you up and down, and that's it. So the drone itself goes for your left and right. All right. Let's get it charged. All right. So I've had a chance to read the manual and all the other fun stuff. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a perceptive view of this thing. This is my hand, and that's the Hoover folded up in my hand. So I guess you could say it's not much wider or longer than a halfway decent cell phone, which I would put right there. When it opens, it takes off from your hand and lands in your hand. So given the propellers are in these nice cages, you really don't have to worry about getting any kind of cuts or damage to yourself or to the unit. Obviously, you don't want to stick things in the cage, especially when it's running. And you can see the 6 pre-programmed buttons, and then you have the power button right here. So your power button, and then your mode select buttons. And batteries are still charging. So let me wrap this up here and open up the camera instructions. I'm not going to read any of this. I'm just going to flip through the pages here and show you what you get. Obviously, it identifies everything, which is very important to, understand, because this is really a drone, not necessarily a toy, because it does have some good video qualities about it. And, as anything, falling out of the sky and landing on somebody is not the best option you can do with this. So really, you want to make sure you read everything. This is going to trigger my phone to pull up the right app. And then, of course, you have your instructions, what modes you have, various other things, how to run the app, how to collect and take off through the palm of your hand. And let's see, is there a second page here? I have some pretty big fingers. Nope, that's it. Once you do the app, then you just learn on the app. And the rest is all the rest of this is all different languages. And you have your safety instructions, how to operate, a few things to note, and we'll get into this a little bit later. Warranty card, of course, this does not have collision avoidance, if you will, or obstacle avoidance. So you've got one camera right here, which is your visual camera. This tells you, or this tells the drone, how far from the ground it is, how high of the ground it is, and it keeps itself in line based on that. For instance, if the wind is blowing fairly good, it'll use this camera to stay within the same area. So you've got your stabilization, but it's all done with a visual camera. What that means is it's not smart to fly this over the water. It's also not smart to fly this over wet surfaces. So if you're flying it over a pool, you're flying it over wet asphalt or wet concrete, the odds are pretty good you're going to find yourself with some difficulties on this. Especially in the water. Some of the people that have used it already, they have had some problems over water. It doesn't react right. And, maximum height on this, I believe, was under the instructions here. You should not fly this or operate this at 2,000 meters above sea level, which probably covers most of the bases you need to have covered. Second thing is you don't want to be operating it at a 0.5 meter to 10 meters. That's kind of the operating height that this thing will function on. And of course, it's not waterproof, so that's another one. Don't play it with it in the water. Which includes lightning, fog, standard, pretty much standard drone operating procedures when it comes to weather. There's not a lot of really good waterproof, water-resistant drones out there. There's for the kind of money that consumers would want to spend. All right, I'm going to load up the app and we're going to go through that. Okay, as you can see here, I got the screen up on my phone and got a lot of options. My Hoover is exactly what it says. It should be synced up to your camera. This is kind of some samples of the things I've already done with this thing. And I've got the orbit mode here on this one. So you can see, please understand that the noise on this picture is coming from my screen share and not from the camera itself. So, and you can go to the Hoover. Okay, next up we have the options menu, or specifically stated to the drone itself. Sound recording options, which actually records from your cell phone and comes in pretty clean on the video. And then your Hoover settings, this is where you're going to set all of your modes. And of course the Hoover album is where all your pictures are going to go. And if you go down here, manual control, you will be able to actually fly the drone using the controls on your app from your cell phone. So there is those options. There's a few prerequisites before you do that. And Smart Preview is basically just a preview of what's coming out of your camera while you are looking at it through your phone. All right, the mode settings. So you can preset these program to your drone, and then when you go out to do it, operate them, they will function programmed as you've done through your app, and you do not need to have the app open when you do that. So you've got the buttons on the drone, and you just select one of those 6 buttons that you need, and you're good to go. Now you can always use your phone for other things. If you want to do change it to dolly track for a custom button or manual control or whatnot, then you just have to make that change in your app. All right, let's take a deep dive into one of the modes. We'll pick dolly track, and comes up. It's still loading a little bit, but that's the issue anyway. Every mode has a pretty good description of what you see here. So you've got a video, you've got help mode, and you also have the button to actually program it into your unit. So this is dolly track. Currently it flies backwards while focused on you. We're going to click into the detail. This actually shows you in more depth how it does that. And here you go, you're going forward. You want to stay in a straight line because this one has to be steered a little bit, like kind of like backing up a trailer, and you'll be fine. We just run through a couple more things here. The instructions or the help portion of this app is pretty good. It's got a built-in academy where you can actually just look at the videos and figure it out. And also a little bit on down there, there's a question mark in the Hoover button or tab. Click on that question mark and you'll get a look at all your FAQs that are coming up with this new device. So I think that will cover it, and guessing we ought to try and go out and take some videos of this device as it flies around my neighborhood.